Hi everyone, my name is Maddie, welcome back to my channel and welcome to the hopefully first reading vlog of November. So if you've seen my November TBR video, which I'll link everywhere, you will know that I've said that I'm going to try and do November reading vlogs like every week for the month of November. This is because I've been struggling with my reading recently. I keep going from reading like a book every single day for 3 or 4 days in a row to literally not touching a book for 2 weeks. And the overall result is me reading less than I want and also just being frustrated a lot of the time because I don't feel like I'm reading actively. So the hope is that if I vlog every week, it'll hold me accountable and I will actually read. So that's the plan. It is currently Sunday the 1st of November, so this is going to have like 1 extra day on it because we may as well start at the beginning of the month. And I may as well take you through my reading plans. So we'll quickly say there are 2 readathons I'm planning on doing. The first being the 1000 Doors readathon, which is just running for the first week of the month, which is hosted by Meg at Meg with Books, Emma at Drinking by Myself, and Tasmin at Tea Books and Tasmin. And this is a really fun readathon where basically there was a video on each of their channels at midnight last night, and they each have a different prompt, and then depending which one you choose, you can choose any of those as a starting point, and then you read the book that fits that prompt. You see what you think of that book, and dependent, so if you give it like 4 to 5 stars or 2 to 3 stars, you click on a different link and it will take you to your next prompt. So I went with Meg's prompt, which is using this like meme, which is it's history, or that's history. And it was just to read like a historical fiction or something that was influential. So what I went with is Cemetery Boys by Aidan Thomas. I did actually start this technically before the prompts came out, but it fits, so I was no way going to change it because I really want to read this. And I chose this because Aidan Thomas made history by being the first openly trans author to have a book on the New York Times bestseller list which featured a trans main character or centered a trans main character. So I thought that was significant and fit perfectly for sort of a history-making book. I was meant to read this in October. I was going to read it yesterday in a day, but as some of you may or may not know, it was announced yesterday that the UK, well England specifically, is going back into lockdown next week, which we've all seen coming. We all knew it was happening and I'm glad it's happening, but nonetheless it's kind of sad when it's finally announced, as it does change quite a lot. And so I was trying to work out sort of how I was going to be impacted and everything, and it was just a big evening, so I did not end up reading. So this is going to be my first book of November instead. I'm currently 85 pages in and adoring it. I'm actually obsessed with our main character Yadriel. Oh my god, I'm loving this so much, and I'm hoping to read this whole thing today. I have not a lot on. I'm kind of moving my big reading day from yesterday to today to give myself a second shot at it. So I'm going to be reading this today, is the hope. So yeah, it's safe to say I'm excited for this book and I'm pretty sure I'm going to love it. So that's going to be the reading for today. And then the rest of the week, so the other readathon I'm doing is the Clear Your Shit readathon, which is the funniest readathon I think I've ever heard of. It's tickled me to no end. It's all about reading books you already own and basically clearing your shelves, which I'm not going to do. I have hundreds of books I haven't read that I own, but I'm going to try and do some in the next couple months. It's an 8-week-long readathon. All of the information for both these readathons will of course be linked down below. Oh my god, it just seems so fun, and the Twitter's run by the narrator, who is sassy and horrible to everyone, which is fantastic, and I'm taking great joy in, and I'm terrified of tweeting so that I might get roasted, but it's good fun. And there are 24 prompts for that, and technically there are 3 each week, but I'm not completely sure I'm going to do them in order because I've been in a reading slump recently, and the last thing I want to do is put myself back in a reading slump by limiting myself. So I have assigned all of my November books to the first 12 prompts. The other 12 I haven't yet because that'll be kind of off my December TBR. And luckily the first couple books I would like to read this month do fit the first few prompts, so I'm kind of going to start there and we'll see. And so that leads me on to what I'm planning to read this week. The first being Before the Coffee Gets Cold. This is working for the prompt of your shortest book. It's probably not quite, but it's 200 pages. That's pretty short, so that's close enough for me. I've been dying to read this for ages, anyone who knows, and it's a 5-star prediction for me, so planning to read that. I can read that in a day, I can read that in 1 sitting, so reading that this week. And then likely going to want to read its kind of sequel or companion, which is Tales from the Cafe, which I think is short stories based off that first book. I actually have this penciled in for one of the prompts for like the 3rd week. I think I put it in for fantasy just because I needed to make it all work. So we'll see, but I want to read it, so I'll probably read it straight after. And then I'm also going to read An Absolutely Remarkable Thing, which I have for my list here on the shelf the longest because it is a TBR veteran. I've had it for a long time, and compared to all the other books on my TBR this month, this one was on the shelf the longest, so close enough. I really want to read this. It's a reread for me. I've read it before, but I want to read the sequel and I need to reread, so that's what I'm planning to get through this week. So that's my plans for this week, these 4 books. I'm pretty optimistic. None of them are too long. All of them should be quite easy. We will see, but this is a stupidly long introduction, so I'm going to go. I'm gonna go have some lunch because I need lunch, And then at 3, I think there are going to be reading sprints of 1,000 Doors on YouTube, so I might try and watch that. I don't know if I'll have time. And then I've just got some general errands and stuff to do. The one other thing I'll say, because it kind of goes along with my explanation of why I'm doing these reading vlogs, is with the lockdown happening, I have kind of decided that instead of getting annoyed about it, I'm just going to make the most of the month. So I have a whole fitness plan. I'm going to try and start Couch to 5K, which I've started and failed so many times, but I'm going to do it if I can. I haven't tried running yet, and I get really bad chest pain in the cold air, and it is November in England, so it's really cold. I have, however, heard that running in a mask fixed that, so we're gonna try that and see if it works. If not, I won't do Couch to 5K, I guess. I have HIIT classes that I'm signed up for virtually 3 times a week. I'm doing this stupid challenge, which is the 2,000 burpee challenge, which basically just means do 67 burpees every day, which I can do, so I'm gonna do that. Lots of things, just gonna be active, be productive. I'm gonna keep on top of my videos. I'm gonna do like, just all sorts. I'm gonna get back to Bookstagram, that's one. I haven't been on Bookstagram in like 2 months now and it's bugging me, so I'm determined to start posting on there a little bit again. I've been struggling to take photos I like, so I don't know how it's gonna go, but we'll give it a go. So I think that's about it for all I need to tell you. Stupidly long intro, I do apologise, but lots of sort of housekeeping to cover at the beginning of this video as it's starting off this series of weekly reading vlogs. If this is the only one you see, if you even see this one, I do apologise. I'm gonna do my best to do this weekly, but it's been a struggle recently. But yes, 4 amazing books to start the month off. Lots of big plans. Let's see if I stick to it. You guys can all hold me accountable now because you all know, so we'll see. James, come here.
Stay.
James, do you want to look at me? Oh. Thanks. Hello. Hi. She's not getting enough cuddles, so she's harassing. Oh, she's dropping. Oh, you sad to me. Do you want a cuddle? James, come here. Come. Not you. James, come here. Am I being ignored? James, come here. Good girl. There you go. There you go. Oh, baby. Oh, there you go. Hi. So, oh my god, it's the next day. It is, I don't know what day it is. Monday. It's Monday the 2nd of November. And today has been a day. Oh my gosh. I'll give you a reading update in a little bit. But today started super well. I got up at 8. I went running. I did the first day of Couch to 5K, which like isn't that much running, and it was hard as hell. Wearing a mask helped, which sounds crazy. Everyone always says it's hard to breathe in them. I don't find it hard to breathe in a mask at all. And it helped my lungs. I get really bad, I don't think I mentioned this, I get really shooting bad pain in cold air. It is November, it's cold as hell. And it worked. I didn't get that pain almost at all, so I could actually complete the run without having to stop and wheeze for hours. So I'm really happy. So I came home, a bit tired because I've ran, but not too bad. And I was like, I need to film my wrap up because it needs to go up today. So I spent about half an hour, filmed almost half of it, probably more than half of it. And my camera battery died, which is fine. They always die partway through filming, but I'm stupid and ejected the battery before the camera had shut off properly. So it corrupted the file and I lost all of that footage. So I had to refilm it. So I've refilmed the whole thing. The video's meant to be going up in 3 hours. It's gonna be late, I can guarantee, because I need to edit the whole thing. And just to make it even better, I just went to start editing it and the first clip is missing the first 3 seconds for no reason, so my intro's gone. So I've just had to sit down and refilm the intro. This video does not want to happen and I don't know why, but it's going to. We're making it happen. So I'm gonna go edit and get that done because that needs to go up in a few hours, and then we're gonna read. I haven't finished Cemetery Boys. I got very distracted yesterday. I'll explain why actually in a little bit because it's really fun to me, but you guys might like it too. So I'll do that explanation in a minute, but I'm gonna go edit and I'll come back to you with a reading update and a really cool reading distraction in a minute. I need to give you a reading update. I've not done that yet. I'll do that in a bit. My book's downstairs. I'm still reading Cemetery Boys. I'm really enjoying it. I want to try and finish it today if I can, but it's kind of late to start reading and I've got like 200 pages left, so we'll see. But I'm gonna try. And then I'll do a proper explanation later, but I feel like I need to really quickly mention what massively distracted me yesterday and kind of distracted me earlier and will maybe distract me again this evening, which is a spreadsheet I am making, which sounds really mundane, but basically I own a lot of books, but my mum owns a lot of books. And she has got to the point where she keeps accidentally buying books she already owns, but she has some she's bought so many years ago she just doesn't remember. So she used to have a catalogue she used to keep up to date with, which was just a document on her phone which she filled in so she could check when she was out and about and just in general what books she does and doesn't own. But she's not kept it up to date for the last few years, so it's all a bit behind, and so we have decided, me and my brother, that we're making her a big old spreadsheet to put all this information in, which she can then use, and it'll be really organised. She can then organise things by all sorts of different information. She can sort by author, she can sort by when she bought it, she can sort by how much it cost, whatever she wants, which I think is going to be really, really beneficial. So that's a thing that's happening. And so yesterday, once we'd spent a couple of hours like making that and developing it and getting it all ready, we do need to now spend hours and hours and hours and hours putting in the thousands of books she owns, but that's going to be ongoing. I decided to adapt it and make one for me. I track slightly different things and I don't need some of the information she does and I want some other information, but I started making my own one and it's a huge job, but I have the benefit of using Goodreads. I have, well now, I've just spent the last couple of hours doing it in and out when I'm waiting for bits of my video. I have every single book I own tracked on Goodreads. Not multiple editions though, so I don't have like lots of Night Circuses tracked, so I will need to do that manually. But in general, most of my books I don't have multiple editions of, so they're all tracked on Goodreads and you can export to your Goodreads library. So over the last day or so, I've been going back to my Goodreads library on both my want to read shelf and my read shelf, not my currently readings, though I probably should check that too, and checked that every single book that I do own is marked as owned. And so basically now I can just export the Goodreads library, which exports to Excel, and steal a lot of that information onto my own spreadsheet, so I don't have to type in every single book manually. I just get almost all of them straight away with a lot less effort. I am now remembering, however, I have a good chunk of books hidden under my desk which aren't included in that information because I never bothered to scan them in. So that might be a job to do as well. But a lot of them are classics which don't have ISBNs, so I may just decide that I'm doing those ones manually. I will see. But yeah, that was really good fun. I've had a good time doing that and I'm going to do some more tonight. But for now, I'm going to go read. So I'll promise you I'll update on the book soon, because that's kind of the point of the video. Hi, so it is now Wednesday, I think. I just finished filming my book haul, which you can watch if you've not seen it, which needs to go up pretty soon. I'm leaving everything last minute. I was going to film yesterday, but I'm not even going to start getting into how wrong yesterday went for me. It was just not a day, hence why I didn't vlog yesterday. It was just not happening at all. Yesterday didn't exist. And then to help the situation even more, yesterday evening was the US election, so I was up till 4 AM watching that, and we still don't know, so that's brilliant. That's an extra stress we all need in our lives. Obviously I'm not from the US, but nonetheless, obviously it affects all of us, and also just I care about what happens to people I know in the US and people in the US in general, so definitely following that closely and keeping my fingers crossed that it all goes in the direction that people want it to. But I thought I'd give you a quick reading update. I am still reading Cemetery Boys. I meant to finish this 4 days ago now. I've only got like 30 pages, 40 pages left. I wanted to finish it yesterday, and then as I said, my day went horribly wrong and I was feeling very stressed and very just awful and anxious yesterday. So the last thing I wanted to do was read a book that I think I'm going to love in an awful situation and end up hating it. But I am loving this so much. Quick synopsis, this follows Yadriel, who is trying to prove to his family that he is a real boy and is a brujo as he is trans. And by doing so, he decides to get himself brujo magic and go through this sort of initiation ceremony to prove it, but kind of accidentally summons himself a ghost, who is the school's bad boy. And they go on a bit of an adventure and it's great. I'm loving this so much. This is the FAES and Gaze book club pick. This live show is going to be on like Saturday this week, so I do need to get this done. But I'm loving this, and this is also the first pick for the 10,000 Doors readathon. I think I may have already mentioned this. It's for the prompt history. I have cheated. I have looked ahead for the 1,000 Doors readathon because I wanted to, and you have to choose at the end of the first video what you rated the book to then get your next prompt. The options are like grouped, so the first option is 4 or 5 stars, which this is absolutely going to be, so I was pretty safe clicking on that. And that did give me my second prompt, which is I'm back. And so they said either do like a sequel or a story with like someone returning home. And so for that I am going to read Before the Coffee Gets Cold, which you know is a book I really wanted to read this week, because the premise of this book is that you have a coffee at a cafe and then you can go and time travel and you're fine as long as you get back to your table before your coffee gets cold. So that has like a returning feel to it. So we're going with that for that prompt, and I'm very, very excited to read it. So I might even try and read this. I want to say today, my reading's all over the place. I need to edit and get a video up, so maybe tomorrow, but I do have a good few books I need to get through before the end of the week, so I need to do some catching up as I'm already very behind on my November TBR, and it is the 4th, so I need to do some serious catch-up work. But for now I need to go edit this video, not this one, the one I just filmed, because it needs to go up very, very soon, and because of being up till 4 AM I didn't get up and film very early, so I need to go get on with that. But I'll try and catch up with you all later when I've finished Cemetery Boys and maybe even read some of Before the Coffee Gets Cold. Hello, so it is Thursday, maybe? The days are all blurring, and I actually have a reading update for you. I did finish Cemetery Boys really late last night. I just read like the last 40 pages of it. I loved this book. I expected to love this book. I will say I didn't love it quite as much as I expected, but I think that's much more to do with how I read it than the book itself. I read this in like really small 10-section chunks throughout all the stress of the election, which is still ongoing, and all sorts of other stresses in my life. So it didn't get the best shot at me loving it because I didn't like read it in a really good way. But I did really enjoy it, and it's one I'll definitely reread in the future to like give a better experience to. It was gorgeous, I loved it. I'm really excited to discuss this with the FAES and Gaze group really soon, so really excited for that. Overall, I think I'm giving it like a 4 or 5, somewhere there. I'll decide at some point, but I did really enjoy it, so I'm really glad to have finished this. And I especially love Julian. Julian is literally my favourite person in the world. I'm obsessed with him, so new favourite character of anything ever. And that then means I'm now going to try and read Before the Coffee Gets Cold. I'm going to try and read this in a day if I can. It's just about 200 pages, so I can read that, especially as they're not big pages. Like there's not a lot of text on a page, so I definitely think that's a like one-day read for me. I'm going to do my best, and then I'm probably going to move on to, I don't have it here, but An Absolutely Remarkable Thing by Hank Green, I think is the plan. So that's my plan for the rest of the day, but very quickly before I settle down and read, I got my October Illumicrate box today, and I wasn't going to do like a whole unboxing video for it because I know a lot of people do them and I didn't have the time to get the turnaround for this one to go up too quickly, so I just thought I wouldn't do it for this one. But this is the box I actually subscribed to Illumicrate for. I did get their September box, but that was just because I needed to get off the wait list. This is why I wanted to subscribe to Illumicrate, as it is Addie LaRue, and it's stunning. So I'm going to really quickly run you through the items, just really, really quickly. So if you don't want spoilers for the October Illumicrate, skip to this timestamp. But I just really quickly wanted to run you through the items because I'm obsessed with them. So the very first item is the monthly pin club, and that is this pin, which is Addie LaRue themed, and it's this blue stack of books with the forget-me-nots, and then the 7 stars, which is the constellation of like the freckles on Addie's cheek, and that's a big theme in the book and in the covers of a lot of the books. I love this. I love pins. I used to collect them more than I do now because I used to wear them on like my jackets and stuff, which I do slightly less now, but I still love pins. And this is one of my favourite designs ever. I love that, yes, it is Addie themed, but with it just being like a stack of books, it's just general bookish, so I love that. There was also another pin, which is this pin, which I am also obsessed with. I love like astronomy and the sun and the moon and pins with chains, so literally just stunning. I am obsessed with that as well. And I mean, I've watched unboxings for boxes before, I've had some book boxes before, and normally I like some of the items, but most of them I don't love. This is probably my favourite book box I've ever got, or probably my favourite I've come across from watching unboxings and stuff, so I'm gonna say I like all the items because genuinely I do. The next thing is this, which is I think meant to be like a room spray, and I think it says the scent is witch hazel. I don't know what that means, but nonetheless it smells really good, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of using this as a body spray as well because I really love the scent of it. I really love that it comes in like a glass bottle. I don't know why, I just feel like the things like this, they're normally in plastic, so it's really nice that it's like properly glass. And I will also say to Illumicrate, so well packaged. Everything was like individually wrapped, which I feel like was just so good. The next thing, which I just love the aesthetic of and really works well for October, even though it came a bit after October, is this. It's just like a little tin, but it is, as you can see, really reflective and shiny and gorgeous with this skeleton, and it's got this really, really pretty green back to it, which I also love. I don't have a specific use for this, but I mean, I have an absolute ton of stationery and all sorts of things, and it's a nice functional item. Probably my least favorite item for the box, but I still really like it. And then the next thing, which I think is really, really cool, is this, which I'm gonna try and explain. It's a magnetic photo frame, and it's got these gold patterns in sort of, again, the constellation of Addie's stars. You can see the camera in the reflection, I apologise. But it's also got a piece of art in it, which I'm actually just gonna get out so that I can show you without the reflection. And it's this piece of art, which is a scene from the book, and it's stunning. And it almost interacts with the frame. You can see where she's pointing that that's right where one of the stars is, and it's just beautiful. And I love that this frame you could also use for whatever you wanted. And you could even use it like the other way around with just the perspex instead of the stars. So I just really like that, and I love these kind of frameless frames. And then there's also these two wood marks, which are Hades and Persephone, so I'll just quickly show you them individually. So we've got Hades here and Persephone there, and these are sort of tarot inspired wood marks, and I love wood marks. I got my first ever one actually in my Illumicrate Cemetery Boys box, and I'm obsessed. It's so good. I love them. They're the perfect thickness, that they're really easy to find in a book, but they're not so thick that they get in the way of like making your book really chunky, so I'm definitely going to be using these. And then the book itself. I knew it'd be a UK, I assumed, hardback of the book, because Illumicrate are a UK box and they always do UK editions as far as I can tell. And as I've shown in my book haul, if you want to check that out, I do already own 3 hardbacks in the UK edition of Addie, which are all slightly different. So I wasn't sure what Illumicrate were going to do that would make it different. I just about died when I saw this. So this is it. It is black with silver foiling and white writing, and this is by far my favourite design in the book I've seen so far. I love that the flowers are white instead of blue, and then just to add to it, it has these metallic, almost dark grey sprayed edges. This, to me, is just my aesthetic to a T. I am obsessed. And then just to add to it, you have Addie and Luke under the dust jacket, which I love because I wanted Addie and Luke to end up together. And then that same artwork on the end papers. So to say I'm glad I got this box is an understatement. As I said, this is my favourite edition of Addie I now have. It is my 5th edition. I do apologise. That's ridiculous, I know, but I love them all. And I love this one so much. I could stare at it all day. I'm actually obsessed with it. But yeah, that's my very quick little unboxing. I'm in no way sponsored by Illumicrate. I'm just a subscriber, but I very much loved this box and wanted to show it to all of you. But I'm now going to go and read, because that's the thing I've not been doing recently. So let's see if I can read 200 pages today. Hello, so I probably look like a bit of a mess. It is late and I'm all sort of kind of ready for bed. I haven't read anything. I'm about to settle down and read. But we did just remember that it is the 5th of November, and for anyone that doesn't know, the 5th of November is Guy Fawkes Night or Bonfire Night in the UK, and it's a weird tradition, but I'm sure you all know about it. But it is one of my favourite sort of holidays of the year, not because of what they're celebrating, but because every year we get together with lots of families on our street and have a big party. Obviously, that is not happening this year, but I love fireworks, I love Bonfire Night, so it's a thing I'm sad to miss, even though completely understandable. But we have just remembered we have some sparklers lurking somewhere in the house. So we're gonna go find them and go out in the garden and light some sparklers to at least kind of slightly celebrate the night. So I guess, hopefully some cool footage and some sparklers. We'll see if this works, but I'll roll that now and then I'm gonna go read for the night. Saturday. Do I even know what day of the week it is? It's all a bit of a blur. I've just got home from running. My hair is an absolute state, but I'm quite enjoying how curly it's going today. And I'm feeling really bad. I am exhausted. I'm just really tired. It's been a really stressful week. It's been a lot. And I'm so behind on my reading and I'm so behind on everything. And I should have a video going up today. I haven't filmed one. I have a live show this afternoon, and so I genuinely do not think there are enough hours in the day for me to film a video, edit it, get it up and do the live show without the video going up really late, and I am beyond exhausted. The last thing I want to do is put full makeup on and sit and film a video right now. I'm just so tired. So I am skipping a video, and I feel really bad because I skipped 2 a couple weeks ago. I'm just, it's a lot of them. Like, I have a lot of free time, but I also have a lot of things going on which are quite stressful, and with the election and everything else going on this week, it's just been a week. So I am going to skip. I swear though, I am getting back on my bullshit on Monday after having the weekend off, because that's the thing, I really want a weekend to sit and read and chill. But I'm getting back on my bullshit on Monday. I'm being better at the moment, I'm running, I'm getting better at doing, you know, productive stuff. Back on my bullshit with filming though on Monday, and I'm going to film ahead so that I stop skipping videos and I'm going to get back on it. But reading update, because I have actually read since I last saw you on Thursday, I think. I have finished Before the Coffee Gets Cold. I finished this last night. It was a little bit of a disappointing read for me. It was good. It didn't hit me at all like I expected to. Everyone was saying how emotional this is and how it really was like so impactful. I didn't really get that side of things at all. I mean, it wasn't bad. I found the writing relatively nondescript. The characters were cool, but I didn't like fall into the story. I feel like more than anything, what I hadn't heard mentioned at all is that this is kind of 4 short stories that are centered around a central theme and kind of link. And so within each one, I didn't feel like I knew the characters well enough by the end of that short story, because it was only 50 pages. So by the end, it was relatively hard hitting, but not my favourite. It certainly wasn't what I hoped it would be, because I thought it would be like a new favourite ever. But that does mean that last night I started an absolutely remarkable thing. This is the 3,000 Doors prompt, and it is also one for Clear Your Shit. I realised I completely forgot to tell you about Clear Your Shit, so I was using this for shortest book for Clear Your Shit. I'm using this for on shelf longest, because I have had this for like 2.5, 3 years since it came out, which I don't know when it was, maybe 2.5 years. But anyway, oh my god, I'm obsessed. I'm 10 pages in. I have read this before and I know I enjoyed it, but I thought for some reason I'd like it more now, and at least in the first 10 pages, I'm completely right. I am obsessed. It is so funny. I love our main character. I love the like storytelling style. So I am literally just gonna sit and read all day until I need to get ready for the live show, do the live show, and then sit and read all evening, and probably the same tomorrow, and I'm really excited for it. I've been doing the typical, especially with the election at the moment, falling down rabbit holes with social media at the moment and just spending hours and hours and hours and hours on Twitter and TikTok and Instagram. So I've set timers on my phone, so all of those will get locked after a certain amount of time, so I can't waste too much time. I can turn them off, so if like I really want to chat to someone on Twitter, I can get back on later. But it just stops me like scrolling through TikTok for 5 hours, which is definitely a thing that I do. So that's the hope. I've got a really good book, which I'm so excited to read, and no access to social media. This is the solution. So I've done that, and I'm done with running and stuff for the weekend. I run supposedly on Monday, Wednesday and Friday. This week, again, being hectic, changed, so we did Monday, Friday, Saturday. But I don't have to run again till Monday, and I don't walk on Sundays either. Sunday's my day off. So I have a whole weekend ahead of me to just chill and have a bit of a break and do some reading, which is what I feel like I need. So I am going to go and do that, I guess. I'll chat to you all later. Hello, so it is Sunday evening. I think I last updated you sort of Saturday morning, maybe early afternoon. So the first thing I really quickly want to say is since then I have had the FAES and Gaze live stream for Cemetery Boys, which I will be linking down below. There's a whole playlist where you can watch the old live shows, and I could not recommend going and watching that one more. It was the best live stream we've done. I think we had Audrey from Perpetual Pages on it, who just the way they speak about this book is phenomenal. I would also recommend going and watching some of their videos where they speak about Cemetery Boys. Amazing, and the insight they gave, even if you've not read the book, the first 20-ish minutes are completely spoiler free, so you can watch the live show. Highly recommend it, even if you're not someone who's read the book, or if someone who has nothing to do with FAES and Gaze, I would recommend giving it a watch. It is definitely worth it. It was really just fascinating to be in, and I get the impression from the feedback we've had that it was quite an interesting live show, so highly recommend going and watching that. But reading updates, I have actually finished an absolutely remarkable thing. I read just about over half yesterday, and I've read the rest today. I really love this book. I really, really, really do. I loved it a lot more this time than last time. I feel like just being that little bit older, because I read it like 2 and a bit years ago now, so I was probably 19 at the time. I got really frustrated with the main character when I first read this book. She really, really annoyed me, and she still did here, but I feel like I understood her a lot better. She's literally 1 year older than me, and I feel like I not related to her because she's kind of a bit of a dick, but I could see where she was coming from a lot, and I really enjoyed that. The story was fascinating. I am so excited to read the sequel, but I'm not picking it up straight away. I feel like even though I really like this, because I read it so quickly, I could kind of risk burning out on this series, so I'm gonna give it a bit of a break. I'm gonna read something else in between. I mean, I don't know when I'll read the next one, but it should be this month still. But that has put me at a bit of a loss of what to read. I was meant to read Middle Game, but I'm not feeling that right now for whatever reason. That proper kind of wooey adult fantasy, which is literally just how I describe Middle Game, it's such a strange book, is not what I'm feeling right now. I kind of need something not simple but easily digestible, because I've just got a lot going on and I've got a big decision and stuff coming up this week. But then the other thing that was appealing to me was XX, but that's huge and actually very similar in premise to An Absolutely Remarkable Thing. It's, you know, aliens kind of being discovered on Earth and the discourse that comes from that and everything that happens, so a bit too similar, needs something a bit different. I should be reading Before the Coffee Gets Cold, the sequel, Tales from the Cafe, but because I didn't love Before the Coffee Gets Cold, I'm feeling less than enamored to pick that up. So I've been a bit of a loss, but I found a solution, and I'm going to read Blaze Wrath Games. I've suddenly realised I think this should be Blaze Wrath Games, because I think we're meant to say in the UK, W-R-A-T-H is Wrath. I'm gonna say Blaze Wrath. If someone knows, please correct me. But I'm gonna read this. I think this is like a game to do with racing dragons and kind of How to Train Your Dragon-esque, but it is set in like an alternate Earth, so it's not a completely fantastical world, which I love. I really like that sort of urban fantasy alternate world. This is only like 350 pages. It's not too long. It looks quite easy. It's YA fantasy. I think this is going to be literally perfect for what I want right now. So I'm going to read this and I'm very excited about it. But I probably won't be having many thoughts on that book in this video because it is Sunday evening and I need to end this vlog soon. But for the rest of the evening, I think what I'm going to go do is update my reading journal. I have not updated it once this month, so I'm like a week behind, so I need to go do some serious updating on that. I need to do some updating for the end of last month as well. I haven't like done all my stats and stuff. So we're going to go do some of that and then read a bit, and that's about it for the day. And then I'll probably wrap this up tomorrow morning, realistically, because I'm rubbish at updating the vlog. I am going to get better. I haven't vlogged in a really long time, so I kind of keep forgetting to update, slash I have a lot on at the moment, so I'm feeling quite tired quite a lot, and so not wanting to be in front of a camera, but I'm working on it. I will get more into it. But that's that. So I'm going to go journal for a bit and then read. It's been a good reading week. I finished Cemetery Boys, Before the Coffee Gets Cold, and An Absolutely Remarkable Thing, which is really good. It's not what I wanted to finish any of these books, but I'm happy. I'm getting back on it with my reading, so I need to go journal, read some more, and then update you later, I guess. I just realised I completely forgot to say in my last clip, I'm literally just sat down to do journaling, that Blaze Wrath Games is my fourth book for the 1,000 Doors readathon, and the prompt I got for that fourth prompt is up, which was Emma Drinking by My Shelves prompt. And so I'm choosing Blaze Wrath Games because I wasn't going to be reading it for another couple of weeks, so I'm boosting it up my TBR, and dragons fly up in the sky. It's a stretch, but I'm counting it. And it is also, where is my list? And it's also on my Clear Your Shit readathons, my lovely Clear Your Shit TBR, and it's for With an Animal, which is the first week 2 prompt, and week 2 technically starts today. So although I haven't done my third week 1 prompt, I'm kind of skipping ahead and joining up with week 2 because I'll do Middle Game sometime next week, probably, or at some point in the future. But yes, up, 1,000 Doors, and Animal for Clear Your Shit. That's what I'm reading it for.